World champions.
E-A-T-L-E-S,
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes!
Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Perpetual sadness. Perpetual sadness. That's all this episode is sadness. We are
God damn it.
I know, dude. It's like
It just, I think on so many levels, Rich, I think we would never have ever thought that we would have been in the position that we were in, that everybody had that look ahead of planning the post-game celebration, and
yeah.
just never, I knew the game would be close like it was, but there were aspects of the game that I don't think anyone could have predicted based on the season.
Like,
and
we
I think
destroyed them in time of possession and we still lost.
the fact that you had a 12-minute time advantage, that you held the ball for 12 minutes more and they still outscored you. Listen, we'll get into the details on so many levels, but like, I think the thing that gave me a little bit of comfort 10 days later was like kind of looking back at the journey, right? And not letting the end result get in the way of the journey and all the things that we enjoy, all the great conversations, all the great plays, the things that we enjoyed throughout the season. But shit, it sure feels fucking horrible because it feels like you had one and you let it slip.
Don, if I'm going to look back on the journey to the build up to basically walking up the mountain, it's like getting to the top of Everest and then dying.
Holy fuck. Well, Rich, when you put it like that,
the journey was amazing. Oh my God. We got there and then we died. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Like, I can't even sit there and be like, oh God, the journey was great. The journey's only great if I'm not even saying fuck the Chiefs. Like,
no,
I'm not even mad the Chiefs beat us. Like, I am so mad at that game of how our defense was out of position on almost every single fucking play.
Yeah.
And how our defensive line just decided, hey, we're not going to show up. I like, there's 12 stages, Mike, and I haven't even gotten out. I'm still in denial, but I accepted it. So maybe I'm like, I jumped from 1 to 12. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, the journey there was fantastic, but the end result, we lost. To me, I can't even enjoy that. I can't enjoy the team's success overall this season because it meant nothing. And it honestly meant nothing.
Like, I think like when you look at all the fact, like never would I have ever predicted that they would have had 0 sacks in that game. That they would have had zero.
Mahomes like ran for 23 yards on us with a fucking bum leg.
Yeah.
And we were sitting back worried about him running.
The fact that they had the fact that in the second half
you don't
come out when you know that he was hurt going into halftime. The fact that you didn't come out and identify the fact that you immediately needed to put pressure on him blows me away.
Like, our defense,
the fact that he was perfect in that second half. They score on every drive in that second half. There's no way, and you're still in the fucking game with a minute and a half left. That's the part. That's the part that I can't reconcile with. Like, it just
We fell for the same fucking play twice, and they scored touchdowns on it.
oh,
That we couldn't stop. The same fucking play twice to two different people.
and you
was atrocious.
I'm sure at this point you've heard the backstory on that, right? That was a
No,
play.
Don, I haven't. Don, I have a dissociative personality right now. I dissociate.
You just cut it off.
I stopped. I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't read. Honestly, I didn't read anything after it. Like I really didn't. The only thing I saw was the clip of fucking Gio like interviewing Jalen Hurts. Like
Rich,
that's
I-
it. And I wasn't even happy with that.
I took the trash out and then sat in a chair outside for like a half hour in silence. I was like so fucking stunned. And the thing that I know that by technicality that what Bradbury did on that play by the letter of the law is a hold.
It was within 5 yards.
It's within 5 yards.
It was within 5 yards, and he let him go. So I don't think it's. You can do whatever the fuck you want to somebody within 5 yards. Is that correct? The NFL rules state within 5 yards, you could literally bully the fuck out of somebody. He grabbed him within 5 yards and then let him go. And then the ball was uncatchable. Regardless of that, it doesn't come down. One play doesn't decide it.
No, not at all. But I think that
You don't let the game in that way.
to call that penalty
It was fucking terrible.
at that stage of the game basically is the equivalent of like getting a speeding ticket for going 46 and a 45.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm most mad about in that moment is that it robbed Jalen Hurts of the opportunity to have the ball back. I would have loved to see if they kick a field goal and we get the ball with a minute and a half left.
We probably
and we go down and kick a field goal, we go to overtime, it's probably the best Super Bowl ever.
Yeah.
Or they go down, they score a touchdown on a game-winning drive with no time left. Best Super Bowl ever.
What was the biggest play? What was the biggest turn in that game for you?
For me, God.
I have only one play that sticks out of my mind.
Well, you go ahead.
The Samalu false start.
Yep.
Without the Samalu false start, Jalen Hurts doesn't fumble the ball.
Well, they're never in a 3rd and 6.
They're never in that situation. They fucking get the first down and they score on that drive. I do not blame everybody. I heard some people say, well, Jalen Hurts fumbled. If Samalu doesn't get the penalty, Jalen Hurts doesn't fumble.
Yeah, because they're in a 3rd and 1.
If Samalu doesn't get the penalty, Hurts doesn't fumble.
Yeah.
That is not on Hurts. And what about the missed face mask? We want to talk about fucking terrible calls. Jalen Hurts had his fucking head ripped off on that fucking fumble.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to throw that out there. I get Bradbury. I get the hold. Whatever. Who gives a shit? There's so much to take away from this game that I didn't. Let's talk about Quez fucking dropping the ball.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Quez can't fucking catch. I love the dude is super fucking quick. He cannot catch.
He can't catch the ball. And that's a position that I'm 100% sure that they upgrade in the
You have to. You have to. Because I was so worried when fucking Devonta Smith got hurt. I'm like, who's going to play on the outside? And now we're just going to have to key in on A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, and I mean, listen.
Dallas Goedert was non-fucking existent.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the takeaways that I take, right, we went into all the preseason stuff that we talked about is Jalen Hurts the guy?
Oh, he's the guy.
I
He's
think
the guy. He's the man.
without fail,
He's
right,
the man.
You found out that dude is a dude, and that dude is a dude that you can build around.
He outperformed Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, by 3 times.
He should have won the MVP.
Yeah, regardless, right? The fact that you throw for 304, you rush for 70, that 4 total touchdowns. Like he showed me that I have a whole lot of faith in him that this will not be the last time that we're in this position to be competitive in a game of this magnitude. I'm really confident in the fact that a lot of their offense is coming back.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown aren't going anywhere. They're young, and they're on the cusp of multiple consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
They are going to be Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne 2.0, Randy Moss, Chris Carter 2.0, and you have a guy who can sling the rock to you now.
Yeah.
Defense.
The touchdown pass to A.J. Brown was incredibly impressive. And to come out of the second quarter and have that be one of the hit him right away at that point.
Robert Quinn was fucking useless.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off on these points. I'm just thinking in my head of how disgusted I am. Robert Quinn was fucking useless. He got fucking torched for that one touchdown because he couldn't make a fucking tackle. Yeah. That defense was just – I'm so happy Gannon is gone because that defense looked fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to blame coaching because how are you fucking up all these assignments?
Well, how are you up? The reason that I'm with you on that with the coaching aspect is that you're up. You gave up 7 points to that team in the first half.
Yeah.
Their offense scored 7 points in the first half. You gave them the gift of that fumble recovery for a touchdown. You had the opportunity to be up, 13, 17 points going into halftime. And you're still up 10 going into halftime. Like, you cannot get outscored 17-8 in the fourth quarter of that game. And
zero pressure dialed up. The corners looked fucking lost. Gardner Johnson was the best player on defense.
By far.
Hassan Reddick was non-existent. Oh, I get the field was slippery. It was slippery for both sides. We literally couldn't get to Patrick Mahomes, which was insane. So instead of, sending a blitz or doing something, you just keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. Fucking definition of insanity.
Right.
And this is my whole gripe with Gannon. My whole gripe with Gannon, he never adjusts.
They never moved.
They never moved. And you couldn't get a stop. You couldn't dial up a fucking corner blitz, a safety blitz to get a stop or to get even pressure in Mahomes' face.
Nothing. He basically sat back there and picked you apart.
He destroyed us.
And, I'll give Andy Reid this, man. He committed to the run when they had every right to start throwing the ball all over the field.
Yeah, how about averaging 6.1 yards per rush?
Oh, my God, man.
Jordan Davis, fucking big boy, getting pushed back by one guy.
And that's a dude. That dude's going to have to make leaps because they're going to lose some guys off that line. Yeah. So he's going to have to step up, but it's this Rich, I will tell you, this is the first time that I've kind of gone back over and looked at and thought about stats and thought about stuff like this. Like, it just boggles my mind that that you had it and you let it slip through your fingers
they lost.
I did, but I have hearing Hurts post game have a lot of nothing but confidence in that dude. That dude's just going to go in and work. He's going to get a monster extension. They're talking 50 mil, 50 plus a year.
Yeah, but he can't be the only one who's going to work. That's
absolutely not.
But it's Jalen Hurts is going to put all this on him. It's not on him.
It's not.
It was on that fucking great defense that we kept saying that we have, and all these sacks, and nobody shows up.
So let me ask you this: was this more of a case of the talent of the players outplaying the system, or what was it? The system? Because all year long, right? They racked up stats against not super great quarterbacks. Was this defense more of a product of just having a lot of talent all year long, more than it was the system that put those guys in place to make those plays?
It was talent.
Right.
It's talent. I don't think it was the system. I think it's talent. You know, they were able.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Why they couldn't do anything with that field, Mike, is beyond me.
Listen, having been that in a former life, right? That's all root depth in that soil. Like they grew that field in the middle of fucking Scottsdale. Like for 2 years, that field, they were grooming that field for that game.
And nothing.
But listen, Mike, 100%, I get it. But both teams had to play on that field.
I'm just talent outplayed everything. Talent outplayed everything, especially on this defense. Like, this defense was able to do what they wanted during the regular season because of talent.
Yeah.
Why you can't scheme up a blitz with as much talent you have is beyond me. Like, why you weren't able to ever do that when you have such dominant linebackers and dominant pass rush. Like, it should have been a different game. There should have been pressure on Mahomes. The fact that they never dialed anything up with the amount of talent they had, like, why? Like, okay, yeah, you're getting home with just 4 guys, but not even once? Like, not even twice?
Yeah.
Not even during the regular season we saw it, and it was a main concern. It's like, if they're not getting pressure, they're going to have a hard time. And sometimes you have to create pressure. And that's where it goes to coaching. Okay, well, if this ain't working, he's picking us apart. Switch to man and blitz. I don't know. Like, to me, it was just fucking terrible. It was just like watching that defense, and like Adam said, Gannon made no adjustments.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wanted that fucking job, Adam. Nobody wanted that job. Nobody wants to be tied to Kyler Murray. That's why nobody wanted to take the Cardinal job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Mike, he did. He fucking gave him the fucking Cleveland steamer and like, yo, enjoy this crap all over your chest. And now I'm dunking my balls in your mouth. Because that's exactly what Andy Reid did.
Yeah. I mean,
like, it was insane. It was insane.
The Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs took advantage of every opportunity, and they did, Rich, what most teams during the season against the Eagles couldn't do was just stay patient, right? Stay patient, run the ball, and take advantage of the open space when they could. And
they blocked our defensive line at will.
Yeah,
at will. It made
they took advantage of every single opportunity.
I'm still dumbfounded by the loss, like metrics wise, and I'm just like, we held the ball for 12 minutes, but we couldn't stop them for 2 minutes. Like we couldn't stop them, like not one fucking stop.
Nope.
And like I said, shout out to the Chiefs, man. You guys won. You kicked ass. But fuck everybody else who's a Giants fan. CJ, good shit, man. Go KC. But fuck everybody who's a Giants fan, a Cowboys fan, a fucking Patriots fan, a Green Bay fan. Oh, the fucking Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck you guys. You guys were losers before the fucking Super Bowl even started. So celebrating one team's loss when you're not a fan of the other team that won, go fuck yourself. I think it's the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Like,
it truly is. That to me doesn't make a ton of sense at all. Like, cheer for your team, but like I don't get a team celebrating another team's loss as their own.
Yeah, as their own. Like it's a victory. Like, you guys won something. You did it. All the Giants fans have told me, cry, Eagles, cry, and I'm like, you fucking lost to us and didn't
3 times
and didn't fucking go anywhere. And at least we were the fucking NFC East champs. You guys fucking you ate our dicks 3 games. Three games you were chewing on fucking our jock straps. Like, shut the fuck up. It's
the truth, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know where they go from here. I don't know who our new coordinators are going to be. I think we're going to learn a lot about Nick Sirianni.
I think so too.
This all season, which I'm completely fine with. I have no gripes with Nick. You know, he chewed into his coordinators during the game. We saw it.
Yeah.
He was pissed, and rightfully so. Like, it makes me I'm just frustrated because he gave that game away. And CJ said, Eagles, respect. Thank you, CJ. You know?
Yeah.
And everybody else in the NFC, yes, they can go fuck.
Yeah.
Because let's be real. Let's be real. I know one guy who is a fucking KC fan. And when I saw him the next day at work, I said, yo, congratulations. He's like, thanks, man. I'm like, I'm not mad. But it was everybody else who's not a fucking Eagle or not a fucking KC fan who's giving me shit at work. And I'm like, bro, you're a fucking Cowboys fan. Like, shut up. You lost.
Yeah.
I had somebody who's a fucking Jets fan. I'm like, you have room to talk?
Good God. They
got
like, less room.
They got less room than most. You right here, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's just fucking Dan Dimes, pay that man $45 million.
Pay that man.
And then give Saquon fucking $30 million while you're at it. And then they
have no money left over for anybody
no money
else.
for anything else. And good luck with Isaiah Hodgins.
Well, Rich, how about we do this? How about we play a commercial? We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit of off-season free agent coaching stuff.
All right, I'm good.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Von C. Brewing Company is a 20-barrel, 16,000 square foot microbrewery with a 2,500 square foot tasting room, including a spacious outside beer garden in Norristown, PA, in the heart of Montgomery County. The Von C. family is part of the family that started C. Schmidt and Son Brewing in 1860. Stop in Wednesday through Sunday and taste a variety of draft and 16-ounce cans of originally brewed beer and tell them the Drunk on Broad crew sent you. Von C. Brewing is located at 1210 Stenbridge Street, Suite 300 in Norristown. Cheers.
Team Clicks are the only glasses for real sports fans. With interchangeable arms, you can support all of your favorite teams, or even make and create custom options as well. These die-hard sports fans have realized that sports fans needed something other than face paint to show their love and passion for their teams. Go to teamclicks.com/DOB and show your love for your hometown team.
La Tourain's curated collection of men's and women's watches is a perfect investment that lasts for years to come and fits perfectly with your every outfit and style. Our range of classic watches aren't just a great perfect formal and casual accessory, but a time machine that takes you back to memories. Explore our collection of timeless watches that can reflect your taste, personality, and personal style. Our exclusive collection of carefully curated, affordable luxury watches is what you need to make a personalized style statement. You can take pride in your prized possession, handing it over to the next generations as your most loved asset that they can also own and display with the same pride. These high-quality pieces stand the test of time, giving exceptional value and return on your investment. Go to la-tourain.com and use code DOB at checkout and get 10% off.
If you're looking for unique sports apparel, check out Streaker Sports. They've dug deep into the archives and have brought back some incredible defunct team logos and have even created entire defunct league collections. They also have collections paying homage to sports culture, including the Miracle on Ice, Slap Shot, Caddyshack, the Mighty Ducks, and even have a license with Wiffle Ball and USA Hockey. Only for Drunk on Broad listeners, use code BROAD at checkout to get 10% off anything at streakersports.com. Again, that's 10% off anything at streakersports.com with discount code BROAD.
All right, well, welcome back. Well, Rich, probably the best thing that came out of the trip to Arizona is that we got to leave.
And stayed.
Exactly. We got to leave the defensive coordinator who fumbled the Super Bowl
I can't wait to watch him go 3-13 next year.
So here's the best part, Rich. Who's on their schedule for next year?
Us.
Exactly. That's one of those games I want to hang a fucking 50 burger on.
Bro, yeah. I am super excited because it's going to be Kyler Murray and Rondale Moore and no one else.
Yeah.
Versus the Eagles because D-Hop is going to be gone.
Yeah, you think they trade him?
Yeah, dude. Fucking D-Hop don't want to be there. D-Hop can't – no one can stand Kyler Murray. No one can
Kyler Murray's got the Call of Duty obsession.
Kyler Murray's just a fucking idiot. Like, he's an idiot. He's not a bad quarterback. He's just a moron. Like, you don't spend time perfecting your craft. He could be better than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He has the arm talent. He's faster, but he doesn't put in the work. He literally does absolutely nothing for his team except do dumb shit because he doesn't study the playbook.
Yeah.
Like, he makes me laugh of how dumb he is.
Okay, so who's a guy that you like to possibly replace him?
To replace Jonathan Gannon?
Yeah.
Who's out there right now?
All right, so there's a bunch of old guys, right? Vance does the name Vance Joseph do anything for you?
Wasn't he a head coach of the Jets?
I think he was his latest gig was as the Cardinals defensive coordinator.
Then hard pass.
Correct. There's the guy who was the associate head coach for the defense for the Seahawks, Sean Desani.
No.
Right. The guy that I like that I heard a lot about is the defensive coordinator from Georgia. Pulling that guy out of college. I think now he's young, 32, but
fucking a new mind though, right? A new mind. I listen. I will go with people from coaching pedigrees. Like, people don't realize Nick Sirianni's dad at Mount Union. Like, those dudes were fucking winners. They could win. If you're giving me a coach from a team that wins and Georgia fucking wins and their defense is dominant, give me a coach like that. I will kick the tires on a young guy. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. I mean, it's a guy that I think, looking at the guys that they've most recently drafted, right?
Yeah.
Those, if you drafted enough capital into Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, right? Who better to bring on staff to know how to utilize those guys in the best way possible? Because Nakobe Dean is going to be your next. He's going to be your next linebacker, right?
Yeah, I don't think Edwards is coming back.
And Kaiser White might not be coming back, right?
I think Edwards is going to get paid somewhere, and he's not.
I think so too. But I like the idea of bringing in a guy that comes from a coaching tree, right? That is essentially just churning out NFL talent year after year after year, and it's not a retread, right? I heard somebody talking about Gus Bradley.
No,
right? The guy like
no,
I don't need a pile of candidates of guys that were unsuccessful at their job.
Yeah, no,
and
I don't
that's why
want
they don't have a job. I want you to cherry pick the guy who has been uberly talented at the college level rather than a guy who is retread.
Yeah, I'm with it. Give me a smart defensive mind. Give me. I don't care if it's a guy from college, like whatever. Give me Georgia's defensive coordinator, and I'll be happy with that. Offensive coordinator, I mean,
Brian Johnson.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, so they elevated Brian Johnson from quarterbacks coach to
offensive
coordinator.
I like that.
I think it keeps consistency with Hurts, right? It's keeping the same system in place. All the terminology stays the same. He's worked with Hurts before. And I think that's a lot easier to replace the quarterback coach than it is to replace the offensive coordinator.
Agreed.
That's based on the amount of success that they had this year. I like the idea of moving and elevating him so that he can continue to work with Hurts. Based on the progress that he was able to make in this, in essentially what is your second full year in a system, that consistency is only going to help him.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Give me a guy, Rich, of the free agents that are out there.
All right, let me take a gander. Like I said, I've been very disconnected.
So I'm gonna read a couple names. How about I read a couple names here?
Let's do it.
Fletcher Cox.
He's gone.
Okay. Robert Quinn. Gone.
He wasn't even on the team.
Brandon Graham.
I
think he's a guy that comes back on like a 1 year
vet minimum
thank you deal.
He'll get it, dude. He has so much service. You put him in a vet minimum, and it's like, yeah, we're paying him only like $800,000, but it's legit $14 million. Like it's how much he'll make, but it doesn't really come from us.
No, Javon Hargrave is a guy that is going to get paid. Now,
yeah,
the likelihood is that you don't have enough draft capital, or not draft capital. You don't have enough salary capital to bring back Bradbury.
No,
Bradbury's a guy who's just going to go somewhere and get a bag full of money.
I don't think he does. I honestly don't.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think he does.
You don't think someone's going to pay him?
Honestly,
I think he could get a bag like Christian Kirk. There are going to be teams out there, Rich, that just have a ton of money to spend, that are going to have to spend it. And he played well, and he played really well. He played like a number one all year long.
He's going to be 30 though. He's going to be 30.
But maybe he gets does he get a 3-year?
I'm not paying a corner into his.
I'm not saying you would.
Late early 30s,
but
that much.
There are teams that will.
There are teams that will do that, but I don't think that's a great idea.
You think Kelsey comes back?
I think Jason Kelsey comes back.
He's on a 1-year deal until he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah,
until he wants to retire.
That's essentially what is going to keep happening.
Sam Alu's probably gone, right? He goes and signs somewhere else for a bunch of money.
Yeah, he's going to get it, which is fine because we have backups.
I think you slide. That's a situation where you could slide Cam Jurgens in.
Yep.
Right, to play guard until Kelsey's ready to retire. All right, Kaiser White, TJ Edwards.
I think they're both gone.
So do I. Sue and Joseph, guys they brought in middle of the year.
Yeah, they're gone.
That they're gone, but those are guys that I wouldn't be surprised if I kick the tires middle of the year next year.
Yeah.
If they're in the same kind of position. Boston Scott.
He's probably going to come back for like another 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm. Pascal?
They really didn't use him. I mean, they could use him in the locker room, probably give him a 1-year deal again. But, I mean, teams aren't going to line up to go after him. So we might get lucky to be able to snag him back.
I think he's the kind of guy that, like, he'll be around if you want him.
Yeah.
All right, Miles Sanders.
I think he comes back.
You think he comes? You saw that he put out a quote either today or maybe yesterday about wanting to be here.
Yeah, he don't want to leave.
And he doesn't want. I get this feeling like he doesn't want to leave. I just don't know what kind of money they're going to have left over to be able to spend on him.
I mean,
so it's all going to depend on.
They have so much draft capital. They can do what the Rams did and just defer everything late and push it back 5 years. It doesn't like the salary cap is so easy to manipulate because you just backload all these and then you worry about it when the time comes. And then you just keep deferring and pushing it back. Like, or was it, how can the Rams keep doing it? They have no money. It's like they push all their money back. Like, they're going to be screwed in like 3 years. But they're already irrelevant, so it makes me.
If there's anybody that I trust to manipulate the cap,
it'll be Howie.
I think we got the right guy. All right, we can skip Rick Lovato and Tyree Jackson. CJGJ.
Yeah, they lock him up.
You think
you have to.
Is he a franchise? Does he get the franchise tag?
No, I'm paying him. I'm extending him.
I would too. They've already kind of come out and said that if they have trouble getting a deal done, that they're
going to franchise him.
Of all the guys that we're talking about, that's the guy that you would put the tag on and just eat it for the year.
Yeah.
1,000%. Marcus Epps.
No. See you later.
No. Okay. And then do they get a new backup quarterback? Do you think they bring back Minshew?
I think they probably bring back Minshew, to be honest with you.
I mean, Christ, they paid him $670,000, so he's not. Again, I think he's a guy. He's a guy that might go out and try to get a. If he can go out and get a starting gig, I think he'll do it. But I think I
don't think there's many jobs open for him.
It doesn't look like it, but
I think the hard part for the starting quarterback job is Derek Carr is going to lock one up, and that's pretty much going to be it. I don't really see any other teams in desperate need. A lot of guys drafted guys. Tennessee is one, but they're not going to kick the tires on Gardner Minshew on being a starter. I don't think he's anything more than a backup in this league right now.
He's going to be, by the time next season starts, he'll be 27.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a starting quarterback.
So out of all those guys, who's the most important guy to lock up?
Garner Johnson.
Yeah, I think I think in an ideal world, if they can lock up him and Hargrave, that would be like an ideal offseason for me.
Yeah,
is that those are the two guys that you want to bring back. Those are that's got to be your focus, and then everything else you figure out around them.
Yeah, I mean, we have Nakobe Dean waiting in the wings. We still have a shit ton of draft capital. So we can get another edge rusher, we can get a linebacker, we can get a wide receiver, we can get another safety. Like, we can address multiple positions. So I'm not really too worried about that. And
I know it's way too early draft talk, but that, you're going to have the 10th pick and you're going to have the 31st pick.
Yeah.
That 10th pick is your focus DB? Is it?
I would like Porter Jr. I think that would be.
I wouldn't hate it. You're gonna have your choice. There's at least 3 guys at the top of the draft that are gonna be there,
and they're pushing quarterbacks to being up, so guys are gonna fall back to you at 10. I think
there's gonna be they're probably gonna be 3 quarterbacks picked before they pick at 10.
Yeah, and which just makes the talent pool that much better. So you're either gonna get your edge rusher, or you're gonna get your DB, or if a fucking linebacker is there who's a stud, you get that. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not too worried. I think they've been drafting well, and they have guys in position, even from last year's draft, that were good on some fronts. It's just, worrying about, the guys who are coming in behind them. But, Eagles special teams was absolute dog shit this year because you had so much talent. Like, you had all these guys and none of these. And that's what everybody was saying. Oh, how's the Eagles special team so bad? Well, when you're overloaded on talent on the offense and the defense, your special teams is going to suffer because these stars aren't going to be out there playing on your special teams. Right. So those 11 guys that you have are going to be pretty fucking bad. There's no coaching really mediocre guys up, like, to play great special teams. I think, like, one of your focuses is probably getting a punter. I think a punter is a huge need, which you can draft one, or you can just sign somebody and hope
somebody from Australia
and hope they can fucking do it. And, it's one of those things. I'm still sad about it. I'm excited to look forward to it. I think once, more and more of the draft gets here and free agency starts in 3 weeks? Free agency starts?
Yeah, I think so.
Things will get a lot better, and I think I'll be a lot more happy. It's fucking crazy, man. I'm still not over that goddamn loss. And it's weird thinking about this team, not being together because of how much I liked it. But, it's a business. Guys are going to want to go get paid. Let them go get paid. And you see where you go from here. I think the next few weeks are going to be interesting. And you're going to hear, all the rumors fly and who the Eagles want and who wants to come to Philly. I mean, I think Philly is a destination for a bunch of
so, too. I think you're going to see a handful of guys that are going to want to come and play.
Guys are going to want to play with Hurts. Guys are going to want to play with Hurts. And you're going to hear that. And if one of those top running backs wants to come over here for a cheaper deal than Sanders, and Sanders wants to get paid, you go with one of those top backs. You know, it's
Oh,
I don't mind. You know who I honestly like as a guy who's a free agent running back who fits our system perfectly?
talk to me.
David Montgomery.
Ooh,
David Montgomery is a pass
I
catching
love
running
that.
back. He is a downhill smash mouth guy. And I think he is one of those guys you can keep in for first, second, and third down because he can do it all.
Yeah,
I would love to see him. I would love to see him as an Eagle. I love Miles Sanders, but David Montgomery is the guy who's coming out of the backfield to catch passes. And Gainwell played fucking well. You know, Gainwell and Boston Scott, all of our running backs are great. Do I think we need to invest a crap ton of money in Miles Sanders? No. If we could get David Montgomery for 1 year, $5 million, one year, $5 million,
Yep.
I would do that. I would do that and see what David Montgomery can do because fucking why not? Or you get the Alabama running back in the second round.
ooh, yeah.
Not
Listen,
mad
you
about
can't
that.
you can't go wrong either way. And listen, if
I like
you know, if-
Montgomery a lot.
if there's a way that the guy like Bijan Robinson, right? If he slides, do you maybe consider him at 31?
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
know that it's kind of it goes against everything that they don't believe in to draft a guy in the first round, but like that could be a guy that gets talent, like the
It's a
talent
fucking
pool.
monster.
Yeah, and imagine pairing him with Kenny Gainwell and Hurts and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and
And in free agency, we need to address wide receiver 3. That needs to be.
Oh, absolutely. You
Address.
need to do that. Can catch the ball.
Yeah, I need a guy who can play inside, outside, and catch the ball.
So you,
Because it's just very frustrating with Quez Watkins who can't fucking catch.
here's what you need. You need Cole Beasley, not Cole Beasley, but you need a Cole Beasley type player.
Yeah.
A guy that can get down the field but also sit in space.
Yeah, and Quez has no route tree. He runs straight, and that's it.
Yeah, he just runs.
Like, I love Zach Pascal, like, for that 3 role consistently. He's just not quick. He's a possession guy. He can run the routes. He can get open in space. He just can't run the flies.
Yeah, he's a great guy for the room, but not
Yeah, not like it doesn't fit the scheme.
no. Well, Rich, we got all off season to talk about it.
Yes, we do.
We got and listen, some of these upcoming shows, we're gonna kind of shift the focus a little bit.
Mhm.
We got the Sixers playing really well.
We do.
I think in their last 28, I think they're 21-7. Don't quote me on that. They're playing well coming into the All-Star break.
Yes.
Phillies are about to start up, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna have some Philly shows. Jay and I are gonna reignite the Drunk on Ice show tomorrow night. That's kind of been on hiatus for a little bit. So just gotta try to embrace all the
And
sports
pitchers
that
and
are going
catchers
on.
report.
You got it, brother.
We have so much going into the summer and going
Base-
into the spring that we can talk about. So
Baseballs
Good.
and palm trees.
a lot of things, baby. A lot of things.
All right, Rich. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Man. Final thoughts. It's hard when you surround yourself and make yourself available all the time. I feel like when people try to like overextend themselves to everybody's request, you kind of lose who you are. So if you can take the time to, just be by yourself and do what makes you happy and not care what others think that you're not there. Because it's hard when things aren't reciprocated or when you're the one who's always, reaching out to others and no one reaches out to see if you're okay. Make sure that you're okay with yourself first and then go from there. You don't always have to say yes to everything or be the one who makes plans or sets things up. It's okay for you to say, no, I'm going to focus on myself. And if people want to give you shit for it, fuck them.
Yeah.
Because you can't overextend yourself to a point where you're exhausted all the time because you're trying to fit so much shit into one day when no one even takes the time to come see you or make sure that you're okay. And it's hard because it can be friends, it can be family, you can get guilted into things, a lot of variables. right? In those instances, just make sure you don't lose yourself along the way, and remember that you are also important and you have a life outside of trying to make everybody else happy. Happiness comes from within. I always say it's selfish if someone says, well, you don't make me happy. It's not my job. My job on this earth isn't to make you happy. It's to make myself happy and to do the right thing by others. Happiness is something that you find within yourself. And if you can't find it within yourself, then you need to fix yourself. Because it's not anybody, it's not Don's obligation on the show to make me smile, to make me laugh. Does he do it? Yes, he does. Because Don's a good dude and we have a good time. But I wouldn't blame Don if I wasn't unhappy, especially with doing the show. It's not a Don problem. It's a me problem. And people need to realize they need to stop saying, whether it be relationships or life, well, this is the reason I'm not happy. No, that's not the reason you're not happy. You're the reason you're not happy. Reflect and look inside yourself and see the reason why you're not happy. Maybe things aren't going the way you want it at work. Well, change that. Maybe things aren't going the way you want at home. Well, change that. Well, maybe things aren't going the way in your family life. Well, change it. You have the power and the control in your hands to make yourself happy. It's your choice to stay miserable. It's your choice to stay bitter. It's your choice to stay angry. Nobody else's. I try to wake up every day and go to work, and all my coworkers laugh like, how do you have so much energy? How are you always so positive and happy? I say, well, the 9 a.m. depression doesn't sink in yet. It's only 7:17. But I make myself happy. I love what I do. I love my family. And I try to, give that positivity out because there's a lot of negativity. But I make myself happy. It's the little things, whether it be doing this podcast or buying Pokemon cards or playing make-believe with Ollie or just, cooking Jamie dinner. It's the little things that make me happy. I'm not a complicated, sophisticated man. I just want to do the things that make me happy. Yeah. And if it doesn't, I don't do it. It's simple as that. When I stop loving things and they start becoming a chore and they make me upset and I get frustrated, I'm done. Because no situation for me is going to be insufferable. I'm just going to let it go and be better and wake up smiling because it's all we can do.
Yeah.
That's my final.
Listen, and Rich, to kind of piggyback on that, right, to focus on the positive things and to focus on being a positive, active person for change, right? As much as I love our sports teams, right, you have to sometimes put it in perspective, right? And shout out to the fans of the Chiefs. The fans of the Chiefs, after that win on Sunday night, they donated over $100,000 to Jason Kelsey's his charity. It's called the Be Philly Foundation.
That's awesome,
right? It focuses on. I'm just going to read it off their website: improving the educational and economic outcomes for the students in Philadelphia public schools.
That's
right. So, and 100% of the donations go directly towards the funding of the projects. None of it goes towards administrative costs. None of it. It all goes directly towards impacting these kids. So it speaks to something that I'm close up to, being a public school educator, but also, shout out to the positive part of humanity that says, even in that moment where we know this person, this city is in the worst possible outcome that we could have predicted, right? They still found a place to say, we're going to give back. And anytime you can give back, man, it's a huge benefit to ourselves, to the people involved, to everybody involved, the people that are giving back, the people that are receiving. Just makes it gives me a good glimpse into the potential positive parts of humanity.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is really, really difficult to see.
Agreed.
Well, listen, be on the lookout for shows, sponsor stuff, all that stuff is coming out. I'm trying to connect with our friends over at the Drunk Phils Fans.
Nice.
They one of their guys, Chris, built a Drunk Phils Fans garage bar.
Ooh.
So they're gonna have the ribbon cutting on opening day on the 30th.
Nice. That's
so I'm gonna try to connect with him and see if maybe we can go over there and do a show live from the garage bar. But we'll connect with them. They connected us with Von C, so we're gonna try to kind of work all three of those things into place.
Oh yeah.
But just a lot of good stuff going on. And Rich, take us home.
Well, guys, you stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. I'm gonna switch up the ending. No fucks to give tonight.
Zero fucks
to give. But I will say, hey Philly, be the change you want to be.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Positivity, and that's what we're going to do, man. Stay positive and be that change that you wish to see. I'm Rich. That's Don. We're Drunk on Broad. Next week, we will be happier. We will be positive, more upbeat. We took our lump. Shout out to Kansas City. Shout out to Mahomes. Shout out to their fans. What a Super Bowl. But Philly, it's always fuck Dallas, and we love you. Peace.
Later.